Yo, people, and welcome to Through a Different Lens podcast. I'm your co-host, Joe.
I'm Dej.
And I'm Jacob.
And right now, today, we are just joined by a very special guest, former Estonian decathlete and Olympian, Karl Robert Saluri. Karl represented Estonia on the world stage, competing in the Rio 2016 Olympics and the 2017 World Championships. A European Athlete of the Month in 2016 and smashing his way through the Olympic standard. Karl knows firsthand what it takes to perform at the very highest of levels in track and field. Since retiring in 2020, he's also stepped into the coaching world, working alongside athletes Karel Tilga. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. And he's currently competing in the World Championships, as well as Zheng Ninali. Correct me later on if I've not said it correct. And obviously today he's here with us to break down things that have been going on within the World Championships, get his insight in terms of all the events, the combined events, and give us a look of his life as an athlete, an elite athlete on the world stage. So yes, Karl, welcome to Through a Different Lens podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Good. So yeah, we will just get straight into it. Especially with today's events. We're not going to go to your specialist event yet, but we'll kick off with the track events. If you happen to watch them, the 4x4 relays, the heats. What did you think of them in general?
Well, I kind of was hoping that USA. I'm not even 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I saw it right that the USA didn't make it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But they've appealed something.
So what?
They've appealed something. We don't know
Okay.
what they've appealed, but they've appealed something.
Well, what I wanted to see was USA versus Botswana, because I know Botswana is going to be really fast. And I mean, even though I know they're most likely going to win, I just wanted to see them beating USA, in the same race. I really wanted to see it.
Was it yesterday, Jacob? We were also saying we think like South Africa will be in with a good shot. Obviously, we've got Botswana as the favorite as well, but I feel like South Africa, they kind of justified what we'd said on yesterday's episode, and they could potentially push Botswana for the gold. Or do you think otherwise in that sense?
Well, when I was doing my calculations, I was trying to see if there's a chance that they might get close to the world record, which is crazy. 254 is, it's pretty much, one of those world records that's almost unbreakable. But knowing how stacked Botswana right now is, I will not be surprised if they get really close to it.
Yeah, because Shippy didn't run. We can't pronounce his full name. He did not run the
the European
heats.
guy didn't run, and I think they probably going to change one more guy. So, probably get another second at least.
And I think Nene's going to come in for South Africa as well, isn't it?
Maybe, they said. They don't know. They don't know yet, just because obviously he's just come off that hamstring injury. So they're like, maybe. But obviously, I think he'll want to get another medal. I think he's in the team, in the team of 6 to actually switch in and switch out. But he's not confirmed for tomorrow just yet.
Right. I felt like I heard them say on commentary that he was going to come in, but that was probably them projecting or predicting like what I'm doing. So, yeah. Dej, I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of the 4x4s, but what's your take?
Do you know what? With the 4x4s, I didn't get a chance, but I'm locked in on the 4x1s. But I think Botswana's going to win it anyway. So that will kind of take out the joy of watching it, because they're a shoo-in, man.
Yeah, but it could never be a shoo-in in the relays. We saw today firsthand. People don't get a baton across. They're really being tight on the rules this year in terms of where your foot placement is in the boxes. So this year seems like one of them years where it could be anyone's. Anyone's viable to make a mistake. Obviously, Botswana got the fastest 4 in the world. We kind of know that. But it's just going to be a race, because you've seen today the upsets, and USA not making it is crazy. Baton handovers wrong. A lot of people got disqualified hours after the race. So we actually don't really know who's in this final until they line up tomorrow, essentially.
To be fair, all in all, it was just both 4x4 and 4x1 collectively. It was quite chaotic. And like you said, I'd never really took notice of how like strict they were more so this year on the lines, especially in the 4x4. So, because I think quite like at least 3 teams are appealing against opposing teams on that particular thing. So, yeah.
Definitely. Did you see, Carl? What are your thoughts on the 4x4 women's though? What do you have there?
4x4 women's side is to me is a little more boring because USA is just so much better. You know, we didn't even have a Sydney running, and you know, they have the same thing every year, especially right now. It's like, can they get close to the world record? You don't even talk about them finishing second or third. It's more about how fast they can run. So it's like, it's pretty much the same with guys this year because how crazy Botswana 4x4 is, but because it's Botswana, it's different. You know, if it's USA, it's like, now it's USA. It's the same every year. But you see something
you
different.
don't think...
You see a country like Botswana running fast. It's like, wow.
So you don't think anyone can challenge USA in any capacity? Who's your second and third then? Because we kind of know who the winner is. So who have you got coming second and third in the 4x4 women's? Or is that up for grabs? Do you have Netherlands with Femke Bol?
I think them adding Femke Bol, because Femke didn't run the heats, it's going to be, 1.5 seconds faster, most likely. So, because if they take their 4th girl out and they add Femke in there, it's 1.5 seconds at least. So, I think it's going to be most likely them second, and then, the third. Well, the second and third, in my opinion, are, you never know. There might be Polish girls might have a good race. I think Jamaicans are still in.
They killed their heat. Yeah. They were far and away. I think Jamaica and America are kind of the ones. I think it's going to be a US, Jamaica, and Netherlands top 3, in my opinion, anyway. But it's track and field. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who actually knows?
I mean, if in my opinion, if USA, for example, gets out fast, and they're ahead of everybody, there's no way they're gonna lose. Because usually bad things happen when there's like 4 or 5 guys next to each other. Then,
right?
But
Have they said
that's what I feel like it's gonna happen with Botswana. They're gonna be out fast. The first guy, their 4th guy, is so much faster than everyone else. 4th guy, so it's like by the time they do the first exchange, they're so far ahead.
Have you ever run any 4x4s yourself?
I have. I actually like it.
Oh, okay.
Open 400 is really hard, but 400 meter relay way easier. I don't know why. It just is.
Okay.
No, that is interesting to hear. To be fair, you do see. What championship was it? I think it was a mixed 4x4 when it might have been mixed or women's when Femke ran like her split time for that for her track, was just insane. It might have been the mixed relay last year. I might be wrong, but
I think it was. It was the one I think they won. So
yes, I believe so. Yeah. I remember watching that. To be fair, she's an elite athlete though. She can do anything.
Yeah. The best thing with her is when you see Femke run, it feels like she's jogging. Best thing about it.
Yeah, no, she's an elegant runner. Just on Sydney, have they said that if she's gonna run the final? Because I've not heard anything at all.
I'm pretty sure she is. I mean,
yeah,
it'll be silly if she doesn't.
Yeah,
they'll win without her, but she's definitely gonna be in there. She was another gold medal.
Yeah, 100%.
No, that's the poster child of American sport right now. Well, of track and field for America. So it will be silly if she doesn't run it.
I mean, we've already declared her as the best athlete in the world. So I don't know if there's any. She's the most dominant track athlete I think I've seen. So.
It's her or Mondo. I mean,
yeah. Mondo is a joke. He's insane.
Yeah.
He'll be like, all right, cool. It's time for me to break another world record. Then.
Do you know what? Funny enough, this might sound mad, but I'm going to actually ask you, Carl. I think that the Duplantis should go into Decathlon. Am I mad in saying he should do that?
It's pointless now because I can't say how dangerous this event is, but it's so easy to get injured. It's
okay.
He has absolutely nothing to lose anymore. I mean, that's the only reason why he should maybe try. But he has never done some of the events. So, I mean, if I was him, I would never do it. But it's also because I did it. I did the event, so I know how difficult it is.
Yeah, it's tough.
It will be fun to see Mondo try and jump 6 meters after finishing, 7 events before. Like, is it doable or not? I don't know. I mean, maybe he is a superhuman.
Yeah.
The time I got to pole vault, I was so sore that, I was just trying to get my jumps in.
Can imagine. They can only imagine.
No, Mondo is a supreme athlete. He's out of this world. But yes, the relay that is slightly more exciting, more for a generic viewership wise, is the 4x1s. Carl, what is your takes on some of those baton errors today? Because some of them, boy.
4x1 is like, it's like gambling. You never know. It's like you roll the dice and hope that your team's going to win. I mean, I've done 4x1 as well before, so.
Did you ever drop the baton?
No.
Okay, cool.
But
Just
the
checking.
thing is, they are trying to make a perfect race, For us, it was more like, let's just get the baton and, maybe lose a 10 here and there. They can't lose a 10. That's the problem. Unless you're Jamaica 2010 or whatever, when they were all stacked.
Yeah.
So, but right now, I mean, it's so close so that you can't really lose time. With the exchanges and stuff, you have to be perfect. So that's why they have so many mistakes.
Even like with today, especially like a lot of people taking off early, a lot of people like even running into each other in terms of, well, the South African and the Italians. It was like a load of messy races. I was like, surely you're going to, for the heats, especially the faster teams, just get the baton around. But it didn't seem like that today. I was like, we want to run a fast time as well. And I was kind of confused in what I was seeing, especially from Jamaica, GB especially, watching them thinking, okay, cool, you saw Jamaica do that in the first race, you're going to have a hope in the second race, just get the baton round and we have a chance at a medal. But I just felt like there's a lot of messy races today. And as you said, it was about people not wanting to lose a 10th. But the faster squads maybe could afford to lose a 10th, because you saw what, in the women's side of things, what Jamaica did in the end, just get the baton round. That was it. America were the same thing, just get the baton round, don't even worry. But obviously they're the faster ones. But I just feel like there was a lot of messy races, and it didn't need to be like that today.
The hardest thing with 4x1 is if you are the guy waiting to get the baton, you see the guy coming so fast and you have this distance that you have to, you have to be patient and wait till the person gets there. When the person gets really close to the spot, it feels like it's already too late for you to start running. So a lot of time you start running too early, but then it's actually the right spot. So it's like, that's why a lot of times they have those issues where the guy goes out way too early and then runs away.
Do you think it's better for teams to put in relay teams where they're just getting the fastest 4 people, or do you think they should actually train for the relay and then just run in that trained team?
Well, if you're a country like USA or Jamaica, you should, in my opinion, because it takes a lot of training. I mean, they get used to the exchanges and stuff. I bet if you pick, I don't know, 3rd fastest US team, or like just take their season bests in 100 meters and let them train the whole year together, they're gonna most likely run faster. They have they have so much talent. Plus, when they fix their exchanges, they're gonna win so much time. It's like, I don't know if you saw it, Canada today. They won their heat. Their exchanges were really good, and they are not the fastest team out there. So.
But they've been together for a long time. I feel like their 4 is just core 4 that always just ran. So they don't switch it up. So you could probably see from what you said, actually, that sticking with a core 4 makes more sense than chopping and changing. But everyone wants a gold medal. So what do you do?
And they medaled last year as well.
I think they're the best relay team.
But I guess on that though, it's slightly like we said with the likes of Jamaica and the US, because just say every other paraphrasing, but every other year or every 2-3 years, they've just got someone instantly quick coming into the team. They basically force their way into the team. Whereas like the likes of Canada, you're saying they've been consistent for years, but that might just be their fastest quartet as well.
Yeah.
I also don't believe in, I understand it, but I don't believe in people putting out a second team in the heats anymore, because I think everyone just needs to run fast. And if you're putting out a second team and you plan to switch in the final, something's bound to go wrong somewhere. No one's familiar with each other. And then you're just going, okay, cool, you're going to go here just because you're fast. So I just don't know if it works well.
I think for GB women's in the 4x4, that was definitely the case because Amber Annan didn't run. And if she did run, maybe they might have snuck through to the final. And they, maybe.
Nah,
Obviously, they finished last, so I don't know. But, yeah.
Well, to see for me with the 4x1, my most disappointing thing is what Great Britain done. And what Dazzy just made a silly calculation. And for an accountant, it's rare. But we'll have to wait until the next major championships now. And we're usually more well-drilled than this. So it's kind of surprising that this happens, because that a miscalculation like that doesn't happen to us, not that big. Yeah. It's usually like a more finer change that will happen to us, but not that big of an error. And another thing with the with the US, sorry, they only recently had a relay coach for this past season. And it's their first time in a few years where they've had a solid relay coach. But the fact that they've had to have a relay coach now just shows that the amount of errors that they've had over the years is just unacceptable.
Nah, I can't lie. I slightly thought they were going to drop it just because of how they've been in recent past. So them just doing the job was enough for them. And yeah, just going back to GB, literally it was just Dadzy just going crazy early. They would have comfortably got through to the final, and I just feel that part was quite disappointing from a British point of view. Obviously, we got some bias in that car, so completely understandable. But yeah, the Jamaican men, yes, that was a big shock because they're arguably favourites for the gold. But again, that goes back to if they're, obviously I'm not sure, but if they're training as much together and stuff like that, and then just bringing in the fastest, because they actually brought in their fastest guys, their top two, so we can't really complain in terms of they didn't do that. It's more so the technical aspects of it. So yeah, I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on that.
I think my only plus for that Jamaican team is that they're relatively new, like in the international circuit with Seville and Kashane together. And they're kind of going through a transition period where they have the fast two, but the rest of their athletes can be chopped and changed as well. Whereas back in the day, their four was Bolt, Pau, Freighter, and maybe they'll change in one person. But even then, they had such a strong quartet, but now it's not so much that case.
I think they've got 3 of the 4. I think they've got, obviously, Lavelle obviously would come in on the right on the third leg. Yeah, no, but I think now they've got 3 of the 4. I think they've got Oblique guaranteed, they've got Kashane guaranteed, and they've got Lavelle guaranteed. The person that anchors off, that's interchangeable. I'd say they have 3 of the 4. So I think for them going forward, it's just a case of actually getting the baton around. The mistakes were made today, as you saw, and that's why they won't be in the final tomorrow.
Karl, have you ever done relay in a 4x1, like just by off chance? Or
I have.
What would you say is like the biggest, obviously not in terms of speed, but the difference in the technical aspect between the 4x4 relay and the 4x1 relay?
A 4x4 is more about running. Exchanges are way easier because you're looking back and you can see the guy handing it over to you. But in a 4x1, you're doing it blindly. You're just waiting for someone to scream at you, and then you put your hand back and hope that they can actually get to the right spot. it takes such a small error, and then the whole race is done. There's so many things to consider. You only got the 20-meter mark where you have to do the exchange, and then you have to accelerate, and then you have to get the baton, and so on. So, but both, in my opinion, if you do it, it's fun. Because track and field is individual sport, but when you do 4x4 or 4x1, it's like a team sport, so it's different feeling.
Nice. I think we should move on to the Heptathlon. Obviously, I feel like it was a great competition. Seeing that, I want I want all of your thoughts on what you've seen from the Heptathlon, because you're the expert here. Obviously, Anna Hall finished first. I think she was dominant the whole time. Irish Katie O'Connor comes second. I mean, a joint third. Katerina got in there after being like an injury-ridden season and saying she always wants to walk away with Brown from the US. So what are your thoughts on the whole competition in general? I just want to hear you. I don't want to speak anymore.
Well, first of all, I don't know what happened with Diam. I don't know what happened. At one point I saw that she did not start anymore, so she used to be the GOAT, in one point, but obviously everybody now knows that Anna Hall is the one to beat. So, and I don't know if you guys knew, but Anna Hall was somewhat the training partner for me. We both went to Georgia.
Oh, okay.
They had the same coach.
I did see that she did go to. She's also a fellow Bulldog as well, but that's as far as I knew.
I know her really well. I know Kyle Garland really well. We were all training partners, so. But yeah, I mean, to me, it was more about how, like, the same thing. Like I told about the Botswana guys and so on. It's more about how much she can score, not who can beat her. I was pretty sure no one's going to beat her unless something really bad happened.
How long have you been seeing this potential from her?
Say what?
How long have you been seeing like this type of potential from her? Did you always know this was a level she was going to reach?
This is the craziest thing. When she joined us at Georgia, I never expected her to be a 7,000 point girl.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, she's gonna be a good girl. She really wants to be great. She's like hard worker, everything like that. But with her, I did not see that at first. So it's somewhat surprising. But I've told this to other coaches as well. I mean, I've asked and I also had conversations about it. As a coach, the hardest thing is to figure out how much an athlete can take, how hard you have to push someone. Because everybody's so different. You can't do the same workout to everyone. But that's the thing with Anna Hall. When she was training with us, she was actually able to take way more. Our training was more built on being really intense, short practice, but you go somewhat hard. But now she's like doing double the amount, and somehow she's able to recover. Obviously, if you can recover and do way more, I mean, you don't have to know much. You obviously gonna be better. So that to me was really, really surprising that she can take so much more and still be so good at it. Plus, the other events she's doing 400-meter hurdles. She can also be a top athlete there. So, but yeah, to me it was really surprising. Not anymore. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm expecting all those remarks, but like at first I was like, wow.
So this is a new standard for her.
After her medaling, like the last couple, was it world champs? Did you think the gold was attainable for her? Because I think, was it the previous world champ? She might have got silver, and then the one before that, bronze, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, she was helping me with something. I need like support letters for my visa processing and so on. A few years ago, she was helping me write a support letter. And I remember I ended the whole thing. I said, "Thank you, future Olympic champion." So she's not the Olympic champion yet, but even then, that was a few years ago. I was like, "Yeah, she's most likely 2028 now." I'm guessing is the year, but yeah, because she got hurt, if she didn't get hurt, I think she would already be an Olympic champion 2024. But that's the life. That's the life of an athlete.
What do you think about Miss Katie O'Connor's performance then?
That was very surprising to me. I mean, I obviously knew her, but like, I did not expect anything like that. One of the hardest things to do is like, you can have really good meets, you can put few really good events together, but to put together like a whole heptathlon or decathlon is really hard because there's so many events. And I mean, in most of the events you only get 3 attempts, so it's really tough to actually get a really good mark in. But somehow, I don't think she even had a bad event.
I think she PB'd in most.
Yeah, that's what
she
I'm
was
saying. Like, I think there was only one event that was like not really close to her PB. All the other events were PBs or like barely off.
Yeah, no, she was sensational today, to be fair.
Yeah.
From the javelin, I was like, all right, cool. She's actually got a very big shot here to make some noise. So yeah, no, that was like, for me, that was like the performance of the day, kind of like just how she just stormed through the final couple events.
And
in that,
I'm also happy that Leah Brooks ended up getting a medal. She's been out there grinding for years, She's already, I think, 30 years old, really talented athlete. And now finally it paid off.
Joint bronze medal. Joint bronze medal with KJT, but
the thing usually is, like, especially with Americans, once they're like 25 and still not, top 5 in the world, they usually stop because it's somewhat hard to get the support in USA if you're not high level athlete, because they just have so many, if she was Estonian at 5th, it will be easier to get some support. But like, the fact that she kept pushing, and hoping that one day it's going to be the day, and then now, she's bronze medal.
Is that US like mantra in terms of all the events, or like say the combined events? Like,
no, in general, in track and field, like the support system we have in Estonia, obviously the amounts are small, but like, in USA it's more based on grants. It's like you get you apply for a grant, you get 25,000 a year to get, some support to train and so on. But like, there's no system like we have where it's like, I don't know, you finish top 8 at Worlds, you're gonna be in this B category where you get this much money every month plus training support. There's like things like that, but USA doesn't have that. So that's why it's to me surprising that she was able. I don't know, maybe she was working on the side. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of them obviously have been working. Do you think then, if that's the case, is that why you see a lot of athletes now kind of moving countries or trying to switch allegiance to another place just because they're not getting the looking they need at their home nation?
Well, I don't think US athletes are doing that right now. It's more like
Jamaicans
start doing the going to Turkey or whatever, but Turkey is paying them crazy money, so somewhat makes sense. But Cubans been doing that because that's a different story. They want to make a dime. We're not talking about money. We're talking about just give us what we earned. Don't take our money that we earned. That's the difference. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't think US athletes are really doing that unless it's more like basketball or something.
No, that's true.
Just on the US athletes, sorry. I was listening to, I think I sent it to both Dej and Jacob, of Fred Curley, who's a controversy on his own, speaking about how, like, the US athletes in general, how much they're tested. Like, I didn't realize it was to that. Obviously, I don't know if it's all the other athletes, but to that extent, he was saying about literally wherever they go, when they go on holiday, if they're going for an appointment for certain stuff, he might have been exaggerating certain stuff. Who knows?
I do think I saw the video. I know what you're talking about. I think he's exaggerating. I was on a system where I had to, so I'm going to tell you how it's worked for us. You had to mark every day, certain time period. Let's say I picked 6 to 7 in the morning because I usually know where I am 6 to 7 in the morning because that's when I'm still sleeping.
Right.
So you have to, every day you have to mark it to the system where you are between 6 and 7 a.m. So him saying that he had to mark absolutely everything, I think that's BS, because it's impossible. I mean, the only way is like have your, you know, how you have a location on your phones, like same thing. Like they should track you where you are. You know, that's the only way to do it. I've never heard anything like this before, so I think that was just him trying to say like, these are the reasons why I missed this and that. And one of my really good friends had the same issue. He missed 3 tests and was banned for 3 years.
Oh,
But
wow.
that's, with him, it was more different story. We were also roommates in one point in Georgia, and dude was playing video games, headphones on. I mean, just because I was there, he didn't miss tests then, because they usually don't call you. Even then, when they call you, your phone might be charging somewhere. If you have your headphones on, playing games, screaming, playing Fortnite back in the days. Now I don't know what you're playing. I had to go and almost knock the door down just to get him to be like, "Hey, you have a guy is waiting for you. They want to talk to you."
Oh wow.
That's how
So
easy
it could
it is.
be. I was literally just about to say it could be as simple as that
Yeah.
for you to effectively miss a test.
Now that's how he missed the test. He won USA's. He had a girlfriend in Canada. Went to Canada. Forgot to mark that he went there. That he already had 2 missed tests. So then he went, and
My goodness.
That's a bit dangerous for someone that had the 2 missed tests already.
well, that's the problem with him. If you're ADHD or whatever.
I wanted to ask you if you had the opportunity to switch allegiances to Turkey because they were offering crazy money, would it be something you would have considered?
No.
I just had to get that question out there.
The only thing me and my friends, former athletes, were talking about, like, you know, the enhanced games, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we were just joking around, like, it will be fun to see how much it actually gives you the edge, you know, if you start doing it now on your own. But, like, obviously you never want to do it, because if you do it wrong, it can be really dangerous for you. So it's like, there's nothing to win there. So I'm like, why should I even?
Do you actually think that with Fred Curley taking what he's going to do in these enhanced games, do you actually think he's even going to come close to that world record?
Well, you probably know what happened in swimming, but the thing with sprints and stuff, I don't think it's the question about can he get better. It's more like, can his tendons and muscles and stuff actually get through all this, you know, work. You know, it's going to be way more explosive. You're going to be faster. And so on. I don't know how that's going to work, you know.
He
swimming is
said he wants the world record. So, boy, then I saw the prize money, $1 million. I was like, all right, cool. I hear it.
He's a big talker, though.
He can make way more, but just staying clean, you know. Stay clean, be smart, run your 100 and 200. You can make way more money. So,
yeah, because let's be real, he's not coming close. But, you know, I wanted to just finish on heptathlon with Katerina. What do you think of her performance? Do you think she should leave now on a swan song? Kind of, you know, she has her injury problems. What do you think she's going to do next? And what do you think of how she performed throughout these championships?
I think it's not about injuries, really. It's more about, can you still enjoy it, you know? I had to retire somewhat early because, well, actually really early. I was 25 years old. I had to retire early because I started getting injured. Well, my back got so messed up that I ended up having spinal fusion. So, you know, at one point it's so bad that if you can't enjoy what you do anymore, it's pointless. You can't go to practice and do what you're supposed to do because something is hurting. So, and if you already reached a somewhat high level, and you know you have to train hard to get there again or even better, and you know you can't, so it's like, why are you doing it? You know. So that's why I ended up retiring early. Plus, my back just kept getting worse even without pushing myself like I used to before, and then I ended up having surgery anyway. So it's the same thing with her. It's like, I know she has been having some issues, but like, if you really do still love what you're doing and you feel like you can, do another year like that, then go for it. You can do everything else later in your life, but if you're 40 years old, you can't come back and be like, hey, let me do one more year.
So you feel like she should, if you can stay in the sport for as long as possible, stay in it, basically.
If you still love what you're doing.
Okay.
If you get to a point where you're like, oh, I'm still doing it because of money. I mean, you can make money doing something else as well. So
is that why, I'm going to ask a question to you then, is that why you probably retired? Was it a case of you fell out of love, or was it just the pain you couldn't go through anymore of the injuries and that sort of thing?
Well, I still love the sport, even to this day, I still would love to push myself and be a decathlete, but right now I'm happy that I'm healthy. I can do whatever I want. Plus, also the level of decathlon right now is so much higher that, I will have to do something crazy just to make some money, It would just be me wasting all my money. I would still have to work or something because there's no income, So it's not, to me, it's not even an option. But since I do coaching now, it's, I still like it. I'm still like in it, even though I'm not in it,
Yeah,
different.
That makes sense. Kept your foot in the door, really.
Since we're on Decathlon, let's go on to Decathlon then. You get me? Your specialist event. Do you think Garland's gonna take the gold? Because he's leading now, ain't he? So, going into tomorrow.
I said after the long jump that he's gonna win. Before the first shot put throw, I was like, yeah, he's gonna do 17 meters first throw. He went 17 away. So he's one of those guys. He has to get through a few events and do really good, and there's no looking back. There's only one event that he can mess up, and that's pole vault, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
He's a really big guy. It's really technical. It doesn't take a lot. So, but based on what I've heard, his pole vault been decent. So, yeah, I do not see him losing this one.
Who have you got number 2? Who have you got finishing silver, second place, and third in this current competition? Because obviously we've got the man from Grenada, my country. But
I'm probably gonna go with Skottheim and Neugebauer.
Oh, okay.
So the Norwegian guy and the German guy.
Yeah. Yes. What do you feel there? What do you feel where they're gonna excel in tomorrow's events?
Well, Leo Neugebauer, the German guy, big German guy, he's really good at disc. He's gonna beat everybody in there. He's somehow decent in pole vault because you'll see tomorrow. It looks so bad, but somehow he got 520 or something. I don't know. But Skottheim is the one. I mean, both Norwegian guys. Even the guy who won the Olympics last year, who's not competing this year, they are really technical. So obviously, second day is more technical. You got hurdles, disc, pole vault, jab. So I think that's why Skottheim is going to be really good tomorrow. Technical events, plus he's a really decent 1500 meter runner. And then Leo Neugebauer is just the most talented guy on the field. So it doesn't take a lot for him.
Do you have a favorite athlete? Do you have a favorite decathlete right now that you're one to watch, as in like the one that is not going to win this championships? He's not going to be in the top 3 of the championships, but one to watch for the next 4 years, looking at the 2028 Olympics and the next World Champs. Is there one to watch for you?
Well, to me, the most fun is to watch guys like Garland, just because how big they are. They're just different. Kyle Garland is like, 230 pounds, running 10.5, jumping 790, jumping PR 219, I think, high jump. That's just crazy. I mean, you got high jumpers jumping who are like 150 pounds, jumping 230. And then you got a guy who's, I don't know, 80 pounds heavier, jumping only, we talk about this much, It's that, to me, that's the greatest thing.
Do you not think your countryman can sneak his way into the medal position?
Johannes Erm? I mean, it's tough, but I mean, obviously it's still doable. He's not out yet.
Mm-hmm.
But his problem is he had a knee surgery, so I don't know how he's gonna last the second day. Like he's still gonna be decent second day, but you know, if you have had surgery, you have to take time off. You may not be in the best shape, especially when it comes to endurance. You know, lasting all those 10 events. But
Was
I don't know.
his surgery recent?
His surgery was in end of March or April. End of March, after indoor season.
Right.
But the thing is, you know, he can pole vault really high. He has a really good discus PR. If he can reach those levels, I mean, I don't know if he can, but if he can, obviously he's going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite event when you was competing in decathlon?
Beat me to it.
My favorite event to practice was javelin, but I hated competing in it.
Oh, why?
I feel like I never
Yeah.
did what I wanted to do, so it actually ticked me off every time. But like it was my favorite event to watch, to practice. But every time I competed in it, I left the arena. I was so mad. But you know, usually when you do a decathlon, you obviously like the events where you are good at, and you hate the ones where you suck. You know, so for me,
So what was the
a
event
lot
where
of
you struggled
times,
the most?
a lot of times when I was doing high jump, after the high jump, I was like, why am I doing this sport? If the guys are beating you by 200 points in one event, you're like, okay, this means I have to do this and that just to get those points back, you know. And same with hurls. I mean, hurls, at least I had so much speed that I was able to somehow be still okay. But like high jump, high jump killed me emotionally, especially indoors. Because outdoors, after high jump, you go around 400, so you feel so bad afterwards anyways, because it's 400 meters.
All right.
But indoors, you finish with the high jump, you go home, you lay down on your bed, and you're like, oh my gosh, it just sucks. Yeah.
What in any of the international competitions? What event surprised you, like that you somewhat outperformed your expectations? And
I don't think I ever really did that. The best example is 2017 London Worlds. We were doing pole vault, and I ran through every warm-up jump. I only took off once. I never went over the bar during warm-up. I only took off once. And then I ended up clearing PR 5 meters without missing an attempt. So I went 460, 480, 490, 5 meters, no misses. And that was my PR first time jumping over 5 meters. So those are one of those moments where you're like, you had the worst warm-up because you were scared to take off. You took off once, and then you go on PR. So
what was your gone?
I mean, I was just going to say, but other than that, I don't think there wasn't any events where I was like doing something that I was not expecting to do.
Talk me through like a decathlon 2-day event, basically. Talk me through how it runs and how the body feels and like how you warm down, warm up. The process seems like it's so fast. How do you? I feel like, cause I don't understand how some guys just make it through the 2 days because it's crazy. So talk me through how you kind of would train to get there, and when you're at the event, how you'd get through it.
Well, training is so much different. I mean, when you're close to season, your goal is to do every event at least once a week, and we always started the week with what's the most important, which is speed. You know, you start with your speed work because when the Sunday is off and the Monday speed work, you're coming off fresh. You know, you start off the day with fresh legs, and obviously if you want to get faster in sprints, you can't show up and be super tired. You're obviously not going to improve. So we usually started off with doing sprints and stuff like that, and then later in the week it was more like getting into pole vault and hurling and so on, because obviously it's also second day events, and then you're obviously not going to be fresh when you do hurdles and pole vault, for example, in the decathlon, because it's already sixth and 8th event. But talking about the meet itself, Usually, when we're talking about major championships, you have 3 events in a row, which is really nice. You do that. It's like practice, you know. You do your sprint, you do your long jump, shot put, easy. Then you go to the hotel, or a lot of times we didn't have time to go to the hotel, so we stay in a place where they have, you know, where you can rest room. They have food there, you can eat. A lot of people try to sleep. I had issues with that because I'm one of those guys who can't fall asleep like that. You know, some people like Johannes Erb, you can tell him, "Hey, go to bed." In 2 minutes, he's sleeping. You know, like this is talent. It's not something you can learn or whatever. It's you have it or not. So he's lucky with that. And then you're just trying to rest as much as you can. This is when it gets tougher. Now you come back, you have to start warming up again. So, and to me, this is the hardest thing about decathlon. It's not competing. It's you warming up so many times that it's going to kill you. You know, you're just going to get tired because you have to warm up so many times. And warm up obviously is the hardest part of any sport, in my opinion, because for a track and field athlete, warm up usually takes at least, in general, I would say 45 minutes. So, you know, it's a lot of time just to warm up. So imagine doing that 4 times in 2 days, pretty much, just to warm up again. Plus, you do all those things between the events. You warm up for every event separately. So there's so many different things you have to do just to have your body warmed up. But then once you do your high jump and 400 meters, I'll give you an example. In Rio 2016, between 2 days, I got 4 hours of sleep. Not because I was not able to fall asleep. That's all the time we had. I got to my bed at 1 a.m. We had to wake up 5 something in the morning because our bus left like 6:30 in the morning. They also had the issue where track was almost an hour away from the Olympic Village. So we had to get to the bus 6:30 or something. You had to start warming up like 8 because the first call room was like 9 and the event started like 9:45 or 10. Super early. And since I was so banged up in Rio, when I went to start warming up second day, dude, I was crying and warming up. My body was so painful. And I was like, dude, I have to somehow do 5 events with this body. And there's nothing you can do about it. Just warm up and take some painkillers and tell your physio that you have to do some miracle with my body because it's obviously not working right now.
What was the difference like in terms of the timings from Rio to London World Champs? Like with London, was your not Olympic Village, but where you stayed, was it closer? Did you have more time to yourself?
It was closer, yeah. But it was still, 20, 30 minutes. London was way better. I mean, obviously, because it's only world champs, so for track and field and Olympics, you got every event, it's obviously different story. But yeah, there were not that many issues in London. I think I got like 6 hours of sleep between 2 days. So that's, 6 is fine.
Sufficient enough.
He says 6 is fine. I think that's good.
I got a question for you, Karl. What's your favorite country to compete in?
Oh.
Well, so far, from my experience, London Worlds, every athlete who competed there said that was one of the best experience they've had. For 2 reasons.
And Rio. Okay.
During the evening sessions, we got pretty much full house, 70,000 people. And the thing about that is when you ask for a clap or something, people were clapping, In Rio, in long jump, I asked for a clap. I think there was 20 people clapping. But then there was a random guy with the USA on his shirt. He'd start clapping before he even asked for a clap.
Oh,
it's USA. But yeah, in London, it didn't matter. You're from, I don't know, Kenya or Estonia or USA, they were still clapping for you when you asked for it.
We're big track and field fans in London, to be fair. Do you think decathletes are the actual best athletes in athletics? Decathletes, heptathletes, do you feel like they're the best athletes in athletics?
Can't lie, I was gonna ask that question. Oh my
There
days.
the way you asked it, it's different. I think the best thing to say is they're the best all-around athletes.
Okay.
It's like when people compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan, you can't say one is the best athlete. LeBron is just the best all-around athlete we've ever seen so far. And there's nothing you can say about it. I'm saying all around, you take the whole package.
Because you know I was about to argue back.
Yeah. Can we say that he's the best? No. Same thing with decathlon. Like, we can't say Kyle Garland is the best athlete in the world, but obviously he's the best all-around athlete. And what's great about decathletes is our talent is not that we are great at one event, but we are great at so many events that if you take one of the athletes from, I don't know, long jump and make them go play American football, or take a decathlete, most likely that decathlete's going to be a better player. That's the difference,
Okay. Is there any event that you say specifically out of all the 10 events that you were world class in, like you could go individually into one of them specifically?
If it was me, it would be hard, obviously, because actually my mom or someone just recently asked if it was one event, what would I have picked? I think maybe 400 hurdles.
Oh,
whoa!
Okay.
The hardest one.
Gee, I was about to say.
Yeah, because I'm a decathlete. My life is all about pushing my limits every day. So you have to pick something that it's easier to get. Plus my 400 was decent already, so I think it would have been the easiest. Obviously, not to go and win medals. I'm not talented enough to be that great, but just to make it to like meets like Olympics or just to qualify. I mean, that would probably be the only individual event. But like some of the decathletes, like back in the days, Ashton Eaton was so good in some of the events.
Ooh.
He was.
He even did. He did some 1 year. He did 400 hurdles, and he ended up running 48 something low. It was 45 flat, 400.
Jeez.
13 low, 110 hurdles.
Oof.
I mean, we got Damon Warner still running 10, 12, 100 meters. So imagine now you're a decathlete who has to do 1,500 meter workout, throwing, all those things, and you still run 10, 12 in 100. I mean, we never know how fast he could run if he was only doing sprints, Take out all the 1,500 meter workouts, which are working against you, because it's going to kill your speed in some ways. So,
Jeez. In a full fit championship year, whether that's world champ or Olympics, like how many events or meets, I should say, not events, how many meets does it take for you to be at your peak by the time the Olympics or the World Championships come for decathlon? Because that's something I've never been able to, like obviously with the sprint events or whatever, or the field events, you've got the Diamond League, etc. Athletes will be pacing themselves in terms of what meets, but with decathlon or heptathlon, roughly like how many is it for you to be at peak by the time a championship comes around?
Well, ideally, you only want to do 1 or maybe 2 decathlons before the major event. Not more than that. Usually you stick to 3. 3 is the general number that we say, like, oh, you did more than 3, what's wrong with you? You usually try to stick to 3. Because once you finish the decathlon, first week you're dead, you're just recovering from hell. Second week, you start getting back to it slowly. And then third week is where you start pushing yourself again. And fourth week, if you plan on doing a decathlon, fourth week is where you start taking it slow again, peaking yourself, whatever, and then you can compete again. So usually we say it takes a month between one meet to another.
Oh, wow.
That you need 1 month between two meets. But obviously, if you 6 weeks, it's better. But like 1 month is the general number, in my opinion.
Right,
So now
right.
imagine you do your first meet in June, you can do your second one in July, and then usually somewhere in August you got the World Champs or Olympics, whatever. This year, obviously, it's late because Tokyo and I don't know some other reasons, but in general, you have the Worlds and Europeans or whatever in August, and that's why they got the meet in Austria, end of May, beginning of June, because usually that's when people do their first meet, first open their season. Unless you're
Okay.
NCAA athlete, obviously then it's a different story. But yeah.
You know, it's funny you mentioned NCAA. I was literally going to ask you, what made you, how did you pick decathlon? Like, what made you become a decathlete? Or was that what you've always wanted to go into in like NCAA? And talk me through the schedules. Were you literally on that same schedule they're on right now, every weekend decathlon?
Well, I started training when I was 12 years old. And then I went to this club where we had coach. My first coach ever. It was when I was 12. And when my mom took me there, she was like, "Oh yeah, he's a runner. He wants to run like 800, 1500, whatever. He just keeps running." I used to go to meets where they had like 1K, 2K, 3K races like that. And I mean, I really went there just to get my not prize money, but they were like having cakes or whatever for top 3. And I was like, yeah, when you're a little kid, you just want that. But then I remember the coach was like, asking me if I can throw the ball. And I was like, yeah, I think I can, decent. And then after that, it was never about running. It was like, let's do everything. And it's also because Estonia is really big in decathlon in general. They want to start you off doing everything whenever you start. And then maybe when you get to like 15, 16, they're like, oh yeah, you're really good at this event. You should try this instead of doing everything. But yeah,
Okay.
I started loving it. And then I was also really bad when I was young. So I guess that's why I was like, I just didn't have an event. I got some girls who were my age beating me in long jump and stuff. I was like, okay. But then I went to this high school in Estonia. In Estonia, we don't have the system that USA has where you go to college and then, you can get a stipend, whatever. But we have a similar system for high school. We have one high school that's like national team type of high school where all the best athletes can go. So they give you a dorm room, they give you food and everything. You just train and go to school. And that's where I went. And that's when I got way better. And then had some decent meets, went to World Juniors, finished 5th. And then obviously when you're top 5 in the world as a junior, then a bunch of schools start writing, asking you if you want to come to the USA. And obviously my number one thing was like, I was a kid. I was like, I don't want to go and ask my mom for money. I want to be on my own. So USA to me was really the only option because they were offering, full scholarship and stuff. So I was like, I don't have to go and ask for money or anything. Plus I'm getting my education and I can train with no issues. So
what was that feeling like when you got like that first offer to go to the US?
I don't remember. The first few offers were like kind of bad anyway. So it's like you see them and you're like, oh, those are some random schools. I'm not going to go there. Plus me knowing that I was already this good. Plus it's probably a fact you didn't know. I got my Olympic rings tattooed on my back 2011. So that was 5 years before I made it. I never even had a thing in my head where I was like, I'm not going to make it. I was like 17 years old. I was like, yeah, one day I'm going to be Olympian. So I never even had plan B, So when it came to NCAA and USA universities, I was like just trying to find the best school. And not the best school when it comes to track and field, but best school when it comes to decathlon, heptathlon, and so on. So I only had like 2 options really to choose on. And they were number 1 and 2 school when it comes to.
What were those options? Obviously,
it was Arkansas and Georgia. But the problem was I started talking to Arkansas first, and when you start talking to someone first, you're sticking to them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, they had one of the two best athletes, and one athlete who was super talented, but ended up being somewhat stupid, so he wasted his time. And then I somehow told myself, okay, my best friend went to Georgia. We already spent 2 years in the same, dorm in Tallinn. Do something different. Let me go to Arkansas, you go to Georgia. So yeah, I went to European under 23s. I sprained my ankle really bad. And then Arkansas, I guess, found ways not to get me there. I guess they were scared. Plus I think they got a few more athletes that were really good. So they were like, yeah, let's just not get him. So I ended up staying home for 6 months, then went to New Orleans because my friend was there. I just wanted to get out of Estonia. I was like, let me just get someone. So in my head, I was like, yeah, I'm going to New Orleans for 6 months and then I'm going to Georgia. Like, usually things don't happen like that. It's way harder, but somehow I actually ended up this way. And so I ended up in Georgia instead. And rest is history, I can say now. I mean, the things we did there as a group, it was crazy. In 2016, we had 5 guys. And the 5th guy had the worst PR, and he's a 2-time Olympian.
My goodness.
And he had the worst PR. So our group was crazy then.
That's a high level group. That is.
We got some pictures on Instagram where you see the same guy, Kyle Garland, Karl Tilga, Johannes me, Michael Uipo, Devin Williams, Garrett Scantling. There was like 7 or 8 guys there, and I had the worst PR, 8,137. Those were the crazy times.
Nice.
But I guess when you're around people with that kind of crazy PR, it makes you want to strive to get an even crazier PR. So
Yeah,
using a good place.
That's the same thing with Kyle. Kyle came to Georgia. He was by far the worst decathlete. He was like far away from us. And then now he's like with the best PR. I mean, he was just hustling.
With when you were out in the US, was like, how was the meets, for instance? Were they? Because I hear that with the American schedule, sometimes it could be so constant. There's like no time for rest. Was that the case those days, or was there like a good balance?
Well, the best decathlon is the one that has the least rest. Because like I said, it's not about competing itself. It's warming up again and again and again. So those are the good meets where, the minimum is 30 minutes. You have to give athlete 30 minutes. That's the minimum. They can't make it any faster. So if you have a meet where you got maybe 45 minutes between every event, that's pretty much the best case.
Right.
Because then you're still somewhat warm. You only have to do like a 5-10 minute warm up before the event again. So it's like I said, it's the best case. You have the most energy next day, plus you're the least sore since you didn't do as much. So.
Transitioning into your coaching career, obviously the back end of your career into your coaching career, how has that been for you? Because I know a lot of people can't go into coaching because they're looking at athletes saying, "Oh, I've done something, so why can't you do it?" How have you found coaching athletes and seeing your athletes that you've coached at the highest level now? What's the transition been like for you?
Well, when I was still competing, I actually liked helping other athletes. Even when I was competing against them, I sometimes said like, "Hey, your coach didn't see you. You should do that because you need help." So I was like, "Yeah." Same with my own teammates. I always helped them. I told them what I saw and what I think you should try and so on. But like I said before, I've always liked coaching in general. I think if you ask me what's my dream job when you take the salary out of it, that will be coaching. I just love it so much that when I do it, I don't even feel like I'm working. It's just me spending time doing what I like, what's my hobby, But that's the easiest thing about it. Obviously, like I said, like I told you before, it's figuring out your athlete. It's like finding ways to get them do their best. That's the hardest thing. It's not about the workout itself. It's about how much they can handle, how you have to talk to them. Like in general, like sometimes my brother makes a joke, "Oh, coaching is so easy. Just tell them to run faster, jump higher," But there's so much that goes into it. It's on paper, from the side, it might look like, yeah, coaching is nothing crazy, but things you have to go through when you're a coach, it's sometimes I feel like it's harder than being an athlete. Because if you're an athlete, it's all about you. You do whatever you can, When you're coaching someone, it's like sometimes you're like, let me just do it for you, It's like,
Right.
it's so easy. How can you not do it? And things like that. But you can't. There are some things you can't control. You just have to find ways how to say, how to deliver it to them, and hope that they can actually catch it.
Have you ever came across someone that you had to coach, but they had the wrong mentality?
Oh yeah, this happens all the time.
How did you approach it, and what did you do?
The thing I hate the most is when an athlete comes and says like they want to be the best, but you can tell they do not want to do the work. And the best athletes are the ones that you can tell they want to get better. You just tell them what to do, and they're just gonna grind, and they're gonna do it. They're gonna trust you, and then it's like I said, it's the easiest athlete to coach. But the ones who start asking questions, like, not obviously questions are really good. They have to ask questions. They have to give you feedback, but it's more like trust-based things. Like, oh, I think we should run more, even though you might be a jumper or whatever. It's like, ideally, what you're trying to tell me is going to work against you. So moments like this, you're like somewhat frustrated. But yeah, just last year, I had the girl that really good girl, but I saw moments where I was like, you want to be great, but you don't want to do the work. And in some ways, when you get to a point like this, you're like, I don't want to really coach you.
Right.
I want the best for you. I want you to be happy and everything, but I can tell you always want to try to find an excuse. So it's like,
Yeah, no, that's the thing with athletics anyway. It can't be excuses. That's the one thing, me personally, I hate when I'm seeing. I hate when I hear excuses, even on the track sometimes at the end of the race, or when I'm watching events and it's the interviews after, it's why I didn't do it. I always think to myself, why are you telling us now? That's always my thing. Why are you telling us now why you didn't do it instead of before putting in the work and then doing it, and then after it's okay, cool. I just wasn't at my best today. But I feel like right now in today's age anyway, what we're seeing is a lot of excuse-based athletes, and that's my only gripe with what I see in the athletics scene personally. I don't know what you feel. That's mine.
Yeah, but yeah, coaching can be tougher than you think. That's true. I'm just saying this because there are a bunch of athletes who are still competing, and they'd be like, yeah, I want to be a coach one day. But it is way harder than even I thought,
No, I see.
Another question. How quickly can you tell if the athlete you're coaching is going to be worth your time? Could you tell that they have the wrong mentality straight away, or is it like 2 or 3 sessions?
A lot of times when an athlete comes to you first practice, it's hard to tell because they are like trying to show you something, maybe like, oh yeah, I'm really good athlete, but you can tell they are faking in like in a week or so. You can tell like, oh yeah, because sometimes you give them a workout, and when you tell them something, you're like, you have to do this and this, and then when they start trying to find excuses or saying like, why this many, why, then you already know it's gonna be not what you expecting it to be, or hoping it to be.
Yeah. So when you was an athlete, how did you manage dealing with injuries and adversity, and how did you overcome it? And how do you coach that to your new athletes now?
I guess the good thing now is that I had so many injuries that I can use it as an experience. Obviously when I was competing, I had so many injuries, and that's obviously not the best case for an athlete. But now I somehow use it as an advantage, being a coach. And not only because now I know how to recover or what to do with this and that injury, but it's more about how to stay away from injuries. Like I know from my own experience what I did during that time, why I got hurt, and I I put a lot of time into that, making sure that athletes stay healthy, because otherwise you can be the best coach, you can do the best things, but if your athlete is hurt before the meet, they're obviously not competing, or they're competing bad because they're hurt. So it's a really big thing when it comes to coaching, is making sure your athletes stay healthy. And that's why I said it's really hard to figure out how much you can push them. You have to find the limit and what's the best for them, how much they can take and recover from it and still come back healthy.
And was your back injury your worst injury?
By far, yeah, because if you know what spinal fusion is, it's not easy thing. That's my only that is my only surgery, to be honest. I did have a deviated septum, but that's just me being different, I guess. That has nothing to do with injuries. But yeah, that was my only surgery.
And how long did that surgery take you out for? Was it a whole season?
Well, I had my surgery in 2022, so I was already done. I was already done with decathlon by then.
But you still had the
like I
mentality
said, the
of an athlete to come back.
reason why I retired early, my back was already messed up, so I wasn't able to lift like I used to lift. So I started warming up sometimes. I was like, and there was a bunch of meets where I had to just stop because of my back. So
wow.
What does winter training look like for a decathlete?
So what?
What does the winter training look like for a decathlete?
Well, if you're a decathlete, you can still compete indoors as a heptathlete. You can do heptathlon.
Oh, nice.
So if I was competing for my university, we had heptathlon indoors. So you were not training, you were still competing pretty much. You were training, and obviously if you're a decathlete, decathlon is your main event. But you still do heptathlon indoors.
Okay.
But that's not considered Olympic event, so it's like you still do it, but it's not the main thing.
Fair.
It's like 60 meters or 100 meters, 60 is like the side event, but 100 meters is the one you train for.
Yes, that's the real meat on the bone, that one. On like the meets in the US, what was it like when you did get the chance to represent your university, like facing the other universities, like, and then getting like further engrossed within the US sporting culture in general? Because I've got some like US sports questions to come up next as well. So yeah.
Well, this is where NCAA is different from all the other meets where I compete. Is NCAA is more like a team sport, even though track and field is still individual. The whole thing is built on scoring points for your team. So it's like, obviously for me it's individual sport because I still do my event, but the goal is to score points for your team, and then hopefully win the NCAA. And for example, 2018 was my last year with the Georgia Bulldogs, and we ended up winning outdoors as a team, and that was first time ever for Georgia. So obviously first one is the best one because everyone's going to remember the first one. But the moment where we won, it almost felt like the day I qualified for the Olympics. It was really close. It's not far off because you train with the team. It's like your goal is to win NCAAs as a team. You have a dinner before the meet. You all sit there, talk about it. Like the whole year, you just push yourself, and your number one goal is to win NCAAs as a team. And once you do it, I mean, I did have tears coming down my eyes and stuff. Like it's crazy. And it's big deal in USA. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
wanted to have interviews when we went back to Georgia, because now we're NCAA champs, and it felt pretty good, especially knowing that it was my last meet as a Georgia Bulldog. So
Yeah. Did you come back to campus, or like the whole team come back to campus, like some as celebrities, or like what was like the welcome back?
track and field is not American football, so it's a little different.
Fair. But I mean, it was a first, man. They should have
But
really.
still, we had a dinner with the AD, athletic directors. Went to see the president of the college, of the university. So some things like that, they still felt big. And actually, they used to have it. I don't think they have it anymore. But they used to have the thing where NCAA champs had a chance to go to the White House.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Obviously,
Then
when
they
we
wanna
won,
go.
Trump was the president, and it's White House. I don't care who's the president. I will still go.
Mm.
But something happened, and for some reason we never went there. But yeah, there's some things like that. But the main thing, I'm going to show you. The main thing that stays forever with you is this.
Ah.
National championship with your last name.
National championship ring.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's the biggest one. We picked the biggest one possible.
Bruh.
Yeah,
Aye, that is so cool, man.
I have it here with me all the time. So
Hey.
2018
Hey.
national champions.
Mm.
This
The
is why
US
you
really do
compete.
it right.
Let me turn the light on real fast. It's Estonian time, it's getting dark outside, so.
And I could tell. I could tell. I was like, oh yeah.
Is that going down there?
That is a very that's a very sick
Yeah,
thing.
I have two things I try to have close with me. It's the Rio Olympic.
We're getting all the gems today.
Let's get it flexed.
There's this thing that every participant gets, I guess.
Right.
Mm.
So this is one, and the other one is the ring. And then I'm not a hat guy. We also do have this.
Hey.
Hey.
This is why, like, us three, if you didn't know, we basically started this podcast because of how much we love US sports and the US sporting culture.
Yeah.
And obviously we talk football, soccer here quite a lot, but we talk a lot of NFL and NBA. And that is part of the reason as to why is the way, like, how serious they take it alongside the education aspect as well. Because I actually like that you have to get an education with it. And then, yeah, look at all the flexing with the rings and the hats and the.
This is the thing with me though. I never flex. Like, I had a roommate, and he works for. I had a roommate in Ohio. I actually came back from USA a month ago.
Mm.
Oh, nice.
I was getting a master's degree in coaching education, and then I was coaching a track team at Ohio University. And I had a roommate from Germany who works for a German Olympic Committee. And I think 4 months in was when he found out that I'm Olympian. I never tell people. I think it was just getting hot outside, and I was walking around in the apartment with no shirt off, and then I had a tattoo in my back with the Olympic rings. And he never walked in my room, and obviously I had things like this sitting there, and yeah. But I never tell people. I like flexing.
I got one more question to ask on athletics. What do you feel like the future of Estonian athletics looks like?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question.
Because just on that, like, even for the decathlon, having 3 men like make the world championships, I feel like they're probably the most represented, or alongside up there, this world champs in particular. So,
well, Spikes Mag way back, I think I was competing that meet. I remember what meet it was, but Spikes Mag.
Yeah.
Yeah. They tweeted, they said Estonia has 1.3 million people and 500,000 of decathletes. They made a joke like this. Because every time Estonian competed, we always had 3 guys, and 3 guys was the max, So it's like,
yeah.
how many guys do you have? You know,
Yeah.
and still to this day, I
Yeah.
mean, we have 2 guys sitting home right now who should be competing there.
Oh wow.
And they're great enough. They're good enough to be there and fight for great positions. But yeah.
But yeah,
But in general, Estonian athletics. I mean, we got some young kids coming up now that can be decent. We just had a pole vault girl break the under 18 world record.
oh wow.
Plus, we always have decathletes. We now we have a heptathlete competing. Plus, we have a few more who are decent, who are still younger. But yeah, it's looking great. I mean, like I said, it's only 1.3 of us.
Yeah.
3 million. It's a small country, but somehow we still managed to have 3 decathletes and 1 heptathlete in there. So
Yeah.
Still producing on the world stage. No, it's great to see, to be fair.
and hopefully, as a coach now, I can make sure that we have more athletes next year, Europeans.
100%.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working.
Are you mainly based out of Estonia in terms of coaching, or do you go back and forth? Do you travel the world to coach your athlete?
Well, my dream is still to become a coach at NCAAs. That's my dream job.
Okay.
I want to go back to USA and be a coach for NCAA. That's my dream. But I came back to Estonia a month ago, and I had some athletes start asking about me coaching them, and I ended up having a really decent group. I do coach a few younger groups, but that's more like just to, spend my time here there. But the pro group, so called, if everything goes well, I'm gonna have the fastest sprinter, fastest hurdler, longest long jump girl, and hopefully at least top 2 triple jumper in Estonia. So the long jump girl, my minimum goal, well, I can't say minimum goal. Ideal goal is to have 3 athletes competing at Europeans next year.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Okay, next year we're gonna have to definitely.
That's my goal, to have 3 Estonian athletes competing there and me being their coach.
And the Europeans,
they're talented enough to be there, and even their PRs right now are it's good enough. But you just have to maybe get a little better, plus be more consistent. So how the ranking system works. You have to have consistency now. It's not just one crazy beat.
The Europeans next year are UK based, aren't they?
I think Birmingham.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have those athletes there, we will be coming down to do an in-person conversation with you 100%. We have to.
if well, like I said, my ideal is 3 athletes, but as of right now, how everything is going, I think there's going to be at least 1.
Okay.
Unless something bad happens, you never know with injuries and stuff. There's nothing you can do with that.
Touch wood. Touch wood.
Don't worry, I'm touching the wood for the people. Don't worry. Making sure all's good. Final thing on Estonia, disc golf. I've been made disc golf for the guys, Dej and Jacob. I'm not sure if you know what disc golf is, but disc golf.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's very big in Estonia. Carl, are you good at disc golf? You must be.
Give me a second.
Because on disc golf, I think I've read like a while ago that.
Oh,
jeez.
What
and my bag is in the car, so. And this is my custom die.
Oh wow!
I did it myself, and it's.
Because I've seen like in the UK they've got a lot of. I don't even know what to call them. Like
glow in the dark as well.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! What are you guys playing disco? That's the glow in the dark disco.
This is a funny story though. I was competing in USA. It was a 1 disc challenge competition. It was during what do you call it? Easter, I guess.
Yeah.
obviously I don't smoke weed, so the thing was built on weed. You go there, you get a little Easter egg that had a joint in it.
Wow.
You got free disc. Obviously, you have to only use this disc. I won the whole thing. I got a like a vape pen that's like $150 that you only use with I don't know, THC oil, whatever.
Okay.
And then I got the whole setup just to have like the grinder and everything to store, like everything weed based. And I gave everything to my friend, but
That you kept.
that's USA and this call. They're all hipsters and they smoke weed and play, and that's USA. Estonia's different.
Yeah. Fair.
It's
Fair.
big here.
Well, disc golf. Yeah, because I think I read even in the UK they've got a lot of like surprise, which came to my surprise, a lot of disc golf. Like I don't know what's the word for it. Like not court. Obviously, it's not court.
Courses. It's a course.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know I'm the highest rated Olympian right now.
Oh, you got a leaderboard.
Yeah. I'm like with the disc golfers have the rating system.
Oh.
In Estonia, I think my rating, I'm top 35.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Wow.
Is there a disc golf like world championships that you can go to?
If I played enough, I would probably be able to go. Like I am decent enough already, and I don't play that much. That
After your coach's
if I'm not
session,
on my really good day,
Mm.
I can beat pros. That's what I'm trying to say.
If I'm not mistaken, is there an Estonian woman that's like the best in the world at the moment?
Well, talking about her, she actually just kind of retired,
Okay.
but she's still, as of right now, ranked number 1 in the world. But she started having some mental issues, and based on what I've heard, some family issues. So she decided to, at least for right now, retire. Even though we all know she's coming back. I mean, there's no way she's going to be retired.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's not that old, and you're still being number 1 in the world, pretty much.
Jeez.
But it's a mental game, and she started having some issues, focusing and stuff. Making mistakes she never made, so she didn't like it anymore. Like I said before, if you don't love what you're doing, it's
Difficult to do.
So she's taking time off right now. But yeah, she's the highest rated female disc golfer ever, 2-time world champion, so on and so on.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to get the guys to play some disc golf, even myself for the first time at some
You
point.
should try. I mean,
From the videos, I was like, this actually looks very fun. So
yeah, it can be really, what's the word? If you start liking it, there's no turning back, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, really addictive.
quite
It can be really addictive.
No, that's
There's
good.
a bunch of people that go and I can just come one time, and then they're crazy. They play every day.
Fair.
But
Before
you do have to like walking, though. If you hate walking,
You can't play it.
it's almost impossible to play disc golf. When you play golf, you can jump onto the golf cart and just take your swing and then jump onto the golf cart.
yeah,
Even though there's some disc golf courses that have this. In Las Vegas, we played. They have the same system where you get the golf cart and you play disc golf. But bunch of 95% of the courses, there's no way you can play with golf cart.
fair. Before we wrap up, just quick one on the US sports. Your NFL team, your NBA team, and who are like your, say, top 3 athletes in America?
I'm not into NFL as much.
Fair.
I do know what's going on. I'm a sports guy. I'm a freak when it comes to that. Back in the days, I used to know every guy's stats when it came to NBA. I was so into NBA back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the main team that I follow is Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly because they have the Georgia guy, Brock Bowers.
Bro.
He's probably
Yeah,
going to be the best tight end ever.
Yeah.
definitely,
Stay
definitely.
healthy. So I just, whenever I watch the game, he would be the number one guy to watch. Plus, and when I was in Georgia, I was taking classes with Nick Job. So Nick was, I can't say Nick was my friend, but you know,
You
Hey,
knew
claim,
him.
claim it.
if I do
Claim it.
walk on the street and I see Nick Job, I would have a conversation with him. So that's just because we were somewhat close there. Same with like back in the days, like Sony Michelle and so on.
Mm.
So I went to Olympics 2016, and obviously they were still at Georgia then. And then it's like funny thing. Like when I came back from the Olympics, I had a really bad meet because I was hurt,
Mhm.
and I broke my bone 2 months before, so I was recovering, and obviously had a bad meet. I came back, and Nick Chubb, first thing he said when he saw me was like, "Hey, you could stop at the Olympics." And I was like, "I guess you didn't see what I was doing there because I'm not doing good." But yeah, things like that, you know.
Fair.
But yeah, NFL right now, Raiders. I do like to. I have one more team that I wanna. I always check the stats because we have stats. I don't know if you remember Stetson Bennett for
Mhm.
Georgia
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they won back to back. He went to NFL. He got hurt, so he never played. But during this off season, he was playing and he was playing pretty good.
Mhm.
So I'm always checking it, making sure maybe he got some play time.
Yeah.
Mailman, he always delivers. But you said the NBA is Miami Heat since 2006, sorry.
Mhm.
2006, it's been Miami Heat mainly because Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I started following. Dwayne Wade was my guy.
Mhm.
I got lucky LeBron and Chris Bosh joined, so I got some titles there as well. Those were days, you know. Jesus Christ. That was basketball.
Yeah, man. What a
Still
time.
watch some highlights back in the day, you know. It's like, yeah, I miss those days. You got Heat and then Clippers. Clippers was my team.
Oh.
Not anymore, obviously.
He said, "Nah, not God."
Not anymore. But I always, Miami Heat has been my team, and I still think it's number one team, even though they're not doing the best right now.
Yeah.
You said what else? You said then NFL, NBA, and
And
top
I
athletes.
said top 3 athletes in America. It could be across any sport. Or top 3 athletes in the world across any
Yeah.
sport. Go on.
I'll just say a little different because I don't want to say who's the best right now. The guys I like to follow or like.
Yeah, your top
are
3. So it doesn't
like
have to be that
Cristiano
out.
Ronaldo.
Mhm.
Cristiano Ronaldo for me is one of the guys. Not only because how good he is, but how he still pushes himself. You know how he's like almost 40 years old and still acting like he's still coming into the league and doing everything. I'm not even talking about training. It's like eating, sleeping, training. Those whole things. Like this is who I was when I was an athlete. I was making sure everything is right. My sleep, my nutrition, how I train, how I recovered. That's the only reason why I made it where I made it because I was not as talented.
Mhm.
But you know what they say: talent without hard work is nothing. So.
Yeah.
But Cristiano Ronaldo, way back, I used to follow Michael Schumacher. You know, sucks what happened with him. Tiger Woods, obviously, especially him having the same injury I had. You know, he had spinal fusion and a bunch of other things by now. You know, I remember watching 2019 Masters. And it was the first time watching golf, and I was watching 6 hours straight. Didn't even go pee. You know, didn't even eat food. It was just, that was crazy. And I almost never watched golf like that.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with LeBron. I mean, same thing with LeBron. Like I said before, the fact that when he, like Kobe, you know, rest in peace, Kobe. But man, I still watch his interviews, his games, and like the way he was pushing. That's how I want to be as a coach. Like I want to make sure every day I learn something. When I see 2 years ago, we went to the training camp in Spain. There was a lady who was a former 100-meter hurdle world record holder. You know, you don't go to people like this and start asking me a million questions. I just went to her and I said, "Give me one exercise that you felt like was the best for you or for your athletes, or I learned something new. I always do something like, I know she's gonna tell me the one thing. If I ask, like, give me a training plan, probably gonna turn me down. But if I ask one thing, then I can add this to my plans and whatever, and that, and stuff like that.
Fair. Well, that was a great answer. We're basically going to wrap up. The way we wrap up our episodes is we do something called Song of the Week. Bearing in mind, this is like our 5th time filming this week, so we've got multiple Song of the Weeks. But it could be your Song of the Week, your Song of the Day, your Song of the Year, or the current song that's just on your mind. So if you don't want to start, you can pass on to one of the guys.
There is a song just because I was just watching a bunch of, I can't say motivational things, but like, so Lil Wayne is singing it. So I found the song. It's Lil Wayne, Let It All Work Out.
Let it all work out.
And it's not just because the song, it's just the thing I just said, let it all work out. It's like me as a coach. I have to tell myself sometimes it's all going to work out in one point, I just I have to trust myself as well. Sometimes this is I can't even say it's an issue, but I'm one of those coaches. I never blame an athlete. When an athlete does not do great, I always blame myself. I'm like, dude, I did something wrong. Even though I might be an athlete, I never blame the athlete.
Right.
I sometimes have to tell myself, like, it's all going to work out. It's just,
it will.
I like that positive mindset. Jacob, what you got Song of the Week?
Go on, Jacob.
My song of the week this week is Smile by Scarface, Johnny P, and Tupac.
Right. Go on, Dej.
My one it's called Real by Kendrick Lamar featuring Anna Wise.
Oof.
Cool.
I feel like ours is Jacob. Jay-Z's kind of been the theme of this World Champs for us somehow. And mine is Jay-Z Song Cry of Blueprint. So, yeah.
Nice.
So, Karl, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking time. Obviously, it's slightly later in Estonia, but I big up you all the time. And just keep... Like you said, your Song of the Week, let it all work out. It's going to work out, you get me, for you and your athletes that you're coaching. But again, just thank you for giving us your time. And being our first Olympian on the pod. So, hey, that's a big thing for us. But yeah, definitely appreciate it and appreciate you giving us your expertise as well.
Thank you very much.
I always support things like this. If you do something that's gonna help us in general and coaches and athletes, I always support it.
Yes, no, appreciate the support. As Dej likes to say,
you tell a friend to tell a friend.
This is to our viewers and to you, Karl, as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend, our listeners, viewers, guests, Jacob.
Like and subscribe every time.
Get me what he said. To everyone that is watching and listening, we really appreciate the feedback that we've had, especially during these World Championships, because again, we've had multiple guests this week, and to top it off with an Olympian is just somewhat the icing on the cake for this. And all our fans that are commenting, hey, keep them coming, positive, negative, we like them. And we also learn from them as well. So, and also, you could be the next guest. It happened earlier this week. Your time to shine. So, yes, appreciate you all. Joe, I am signing out.
Dej signing out.
Jacob signing out.
And Karl is out.
Yeah. Come on. Thank you for listening, people. Thank you for watching.